It is 9:30 on a Thursday night, and you're tuned in to Beltway Radio and Beyond, which can mean one and only thing. This is ChipChat. Welcome to ChipChat, everybody. I'm Chip. Who are you, Tez?
You just told him, buddy.
There we go.
There it is.
I got it right this time.
You got it. This is like for the first time in maybe 3-4 shows. So we're back.
Well,
winning streak.
A little rusty, but it's okay.
Me too.
We've been doing the show for a long time,
right?
And we've had this same intro now for several years.
And the way
it down,
I couldn't even really tell you how it happened. Obviously, it happened by accident, and it went from there, and we just ran into the ground, and ran into the intro. So
it just became the thing, right?
It's how good radio happens always. So
it's just like that. So all right, this is a special edition of ChipChat. Because
when is it not?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has picked up on that. I think you might be the only one that's noticed. But this is a special edition because we were off last week.
Yes.
And as usual, when we're off, nothing happened.
Nothing at all. It's always lined up that way. I love that it's always a
nothing happens. But then over the weekend, something did happen that we want to say that we're very glad that everybody involved is safe. We're impressed with the response. It's not every day that the White House installs Australian flags all over DC instead of Union Jacks ahead of a visit by King Charles. But somehow they realized their mistake and sprung into action and fixed it before anybody finished their salad.
Finish him. Yeah, I didn't get. Yeah, the pictures I have are of the Union Jack because I was down there playing softball on Sunday, and
so they did. That did happen. But for real, we are glad that everybody's safe from the White House Correspondents' Dinner, especially Kash Patel, because he had to cut off his open bar to then go to a press conference, and that's rough for anybody. We've all been there, and you could hear it when he was speaking.
A lot of unflattering pictures of came out of that, whatever we want to call that. We'll get to that. I have lots of thoughts on that.
We have thoughts.
Well, there's lots of thoughts. Everybody has thoughts on it.
Everybody has thoughts.
Ooh, I don't know. I've concern. There's a larger concern I have, but we'll get to that.
We will get to that. So that's going to be something we're going to talk about. This week we also have OPEC news. Who thought that this? I mean, why not? My phone is making noise. What the hell?
That's OPEC calling.
That was.
Oh,
it's the UAE. They're like, whoa.
Yeah, calm down. We're close to this. This might be the day, folks, that you see it live on radio.
Nah.
No, hopefully not. Okay.
Hopefully not.
Who's calling? Who's
that
calling?
Would be really, really tragic. The call is coming from inside the house.
Christ, I'm looking at my door.
Yeah, right. No, they don't know where you live yet.
Not yet. The IP address is out there now.
That's right. All right. And Tez has a special talk about his favorite white man.
I know. White. Yeah.
Got thoughts. So we'll
of
talk
thoughts
about that. And then, of course, we've got headlines and we've got a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's going to be wild. It's a packed show.
Yeah.
What else can we say? Also, we played a doubleheader today in which both teams scored 1 million runs, but not in the same game. We had 2 grand slams in game 1 and ran up double-digit points, and then the Stros did that back to us in game 2. And
doubleheaders is just I love them in the sense of the idea that 2 games get played. I do enjoy the idea of it, but then the actual when it comes to playing baseball and then doing that twice is kind of insane. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, well, no other sport does this, right? We wouldn't dare ask anybody to play 2 hockey games in a row or 2 basketball games in a row. But
Golf is close, but you're not playing. It's not the team. Like you could have a tournament that stops in like for rain or something, and then it would continue on the next day, and then they would continue playing. But that's the only. And maybe this tennis, maybe it's the individual sports, I guess, that might have
curling. We often have 3 games in a day, depending on the level. Even at the Olympic level, they had them doing 2 a day, but.
Okay, yeah, that makes so. There's some sport but it's very unique to
but
baseball.
It's specifically baseball thing that it happens all the time in baseball. That it's like a feature of the schedule.
Right.
Yeah. From a fan perspective, if you get a day night doubleheader or any really kind of doubleheader, you get 2 games for the price of 1. It's great.
Really good. It's great.
Yeah. For the players, might suck, but that's their fault for being millionaires who play baseball for a living.
No, don't do that. Oh, no.
I mean, look, okay, they're workers. They're doing their job.
They're workers. Exactly. That is what we need to remember. They are proletariats. True. Okay.
But their job is fun.
It is fun.
So, it could be like that guy who's boss was like giving him roofies and Viagra and taking advantage of him, then he's suing her there at JP Morgan.
Jesus Christ.
That's try not to read that story.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay on that one. You've given enough. I'll take that.
No, interesting racist twist to it too.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? You reeled me in.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh God. Sorry.
Fish is gonna matter in that too when you read it. So yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Go read it in the break. Speaking of which, you got a word?
Yeah, I got a word.
Okay. I got a word now. I got a word.
I got 2 words. I'm sorry.
Yeah, mine's a 2-word. It's a name, but we'll see. That's maybe giving it a lot away.
No, I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, we're just gonna see if it works with just saying it.
All right, we're gonna just try it. All right. So sit back, grab some
Mets.
It's John Wall time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, ChipChat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweet. Didn't work. Nope. Nope.
Welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I am your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's poppin', everybody?
Apparently, it's just Tez. Oh, wow. Oh, whoa, Brian. Look at that. Fancy
in the middle of the show. This is kind of thrown off. Okay, there we go.
Am I looking at you?
Yeah, now we're back. We're back.
We're back to like reality. Okay.
That would have really thrown me off if you were to the left of me. I think you just, I don't know.
I know where you are, but that's funny because I'm backwards on that now. But yeah, we got dangerously close to being vertically formatted, which is now apparently the preferred method of video, even though
the phone, I mean, yeah, you would say for aspect ratio, it being horizontal would make more sense, but
yeah, I mean, I hate when people are like, oh, here's my vertical. It's like, oh, so I can see exactly this tiny slice of a thing. Like soccer highlights when they show them in vertical format. I'm like, this is terrible. Tip it.
But what would be the realification, I guess, of the.
Yeah, well, maybe it's fine for some things, but not for the sort of stuff that I want to watch. So
the MLB app does reels of games, and I find it to be.
yeah,
But I also think I've trained to look at media that way now because most media is served in these video like cuts that it draw. I get it. Just
yeah,
kind of
but
how.
baseball also does the YouTube like
Yes, they do.
highlight thing that's like at normal at like
Yeah.
proper widescreen
Yes.
aspect ratio, and I always watch that. And I mean, let's be honest, what am I looking at on my reels or whatever? It's like sports highlights or like
Right.
politics jokes, and like, okay, well, one I guess could be vertical, but who cares? Okay, so with that in mind, let's do some headlines.
All right. Let's do
All right,
it.
it's time for the headlines. So tradition dictates that Tez goes first. I have not counted ahead. I do not know where we're going to land, but there's definitely one of these in here that I very much hope you get, and we'll see if that works out. So,
all right, here we go, everybody. Let's kick it off. Let's do it. All right, everybody. Ted Cruz announced that he is releasing a chatbot that will let users, quote, chat with Ted, end quote. In other news, all the servers in the data center beat up the server holding the Ted bot because it was too annoying.
yes. King Charles addressed a joint session of Congress, a historic event only ever done by his mother back in 1991. His message was clear. Nobody, and he means nobody, likes Ted Cruz.
Okay, I see where we're going with this. The king called for checks on executive power, a concept he's familiar with since his mommy ran his life into his mid-70s.
Yes.
It's incredible that the redcoats were on the lawn of the White House, and I'm offended. I literally was. I'm going to tell you. One, we're going to stop for this. I didn't know this is where it was going to happen, but I was offended to see redcoats on the lawn of the White House.
Then he made a joke about it. Did you hear that?
It was a lot of he was a comedian. He was a court jester the whole time here. I see his play. I understand why. But back to redcoats being on the lawn of the White House, that is offensive. As like, and look, people can pan me right for America. Right, I understand that. Yes, there's a point of that. But I, as a person who was born in London, right, find it offensive that a country that fought for independence has now. Again, the same country in the same coats that burnt the motherfucker down. Like it can't. It is indefensible. You cannot have that. Crispus Attucks didn't take a fucking hot slug to fucking have the redcoats just coming there as pomp and circumstance for a state visit. You can leave them at home.
It is one of the things where, like, we sort of got over our disagreement over whether we should exist or not, and now like Britain is a willing ally for most of what we do.
Yes.
But all of that is, I think, to your point, predicated on we don't talk about this very much.
The optics, I saw it on. It was a shot from Fox News that I saw from it, and they were just like marched up, and maybe they were paying deference to, but I don't like it. It
did look a lot like, I mean, Charles basically made the joke, right? He says that I see you're doing a lot of remodeling here at the White House with the the East Wing. We Brits also did some remodeling of your White House in 1814 and or 1813, I think he said.
Whatever. Yeah.
And everybody kind of politely laughed and like, okay, we get the joke, right? But like, Trump did not get the joke. There's no way he knows that. But to your point, it didn't bother me that much, like the joke, but the visual of it is a little.
Yeah, no. It can't. And again, there's a lot you can unpack this deeper to be like. There's a larger conversation I'm not having there. I'm just saying again, is the concept of the nation state, and as a person who again became a citizen of this nation, and then to know the history of it is like, no. We don't need the red. Now this is.
Wear a modern uniform or something. Don't be that.
It can't be that. I'm sorry. We're gonna continue on.
It's not the time for a reenactment.
It's not the time for that. It's just crazy. Like,
Trump doesn't care. If they burnt down the White House now, he'd be like, that's fine.
There's been state visits before. I don't think we've ever seen, and I know he loves the royals and things of that nature, but I was offended by it. Again, like as a person who naturalized American, I was like,
it is your right, especially now as an American. It is and I was your right not only to be offended, but to do what we all love to do every 4th of July, call up a British person and tell them to get fucked. That is our right as Americans.
Call myself.
Yes, you can stare into the mirror and be like, you over there, you goddamn limey, get fucked.
I'll record that and we'll do that'll be 4th of July. 4th of July.
You are yourself one of the most conflicted people I think I've ever known.
I'm telling you, I was offended by this.
They weren't red coats. They were gunners' uniforms. Okay. Do you feel better now?
Different. I feel better.
Okay.
Visit Rwanda, fly Emirates.
That's right. There you go. All right, that's a lot of conflict. Let's get back to the show, which is somehow maybe less offensive than the several things that you just said.
Is it my go or yours?
It's too funny.
No, it's you.
Yeah,
it's you.
I think it's up to me. I think I'm on.
Yes, up to you. There was an attempt.
Okay.
We're sorry. Sorry.
We had derailed for a minute. There was an attempt at another round of peace talks between the United States and Iran in Islamabad, but Trump decided to not send his delegation after he learned the name of the host city.
It's a really dope name of the city. I don't care what anybody says. Like
I mean, it sounds fun. It's fun to say, Islamabad.
Islamabad is great to say.
It's a great name.
It's a great name. Yeah. Iran, right? And we'll see how far we get. I have no more Hopslands, but I'm saying Iran, so we'll see until it turns into Iran. Iran is unwilling to negotiate away their rights to enrich uranium, and Trump is unwilling to end his ability to enrich himself. So the impasse continues.
That's right. The negotiation team featured Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, but Trump said an 18-hour trip was with no chance of success wasn't worth it. So instead, he sent Eric.
Oh, he just catches catching strays. Maybe not appropriate to say right now, but who knows?
No, they didn't find the strays. It's fine now.
It's fine.
They're just not there.
They're not there. Oh, I can wait. I just can't wait for that segment. Kash Patel's drinking hit an all-time high, allegedly, when he drunkenly hit the start button on a fake assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yes.
Oh, God, anyways.
Yeah, he had it all queued up. All right, seriously, we're glad nobody got hurt. And as far as we know, it wasn't faked, but nobody told spokeswench Caroline Leavitt that. Anytime you get a spokeswench in there, it feels great.
Yeah. The shooter allegedly had a manifesto, but it mostly read like the text messages you get from that one friend who is way too polite to say what they really feel.
We all have that friend.
Yeah.
RFK Jr. was whisked away from the scene in a move that security has dubbed the Kennedy for historical reasons, and to maintain that historical accuracy, they left his wife behind.
Jesus Christ. Christ.
Go ahead.
All right. Trump used the event at the dinner to call for his ballroom, which he said would have prevented the incident, which is true because it's very hard to pull off such an attack in a police state run out of a giant command center nicknamed Ballroom.
Yes, that's true. Elon and Sam Altman are in court suing each other in what many are calling the nerd trial of the century.
It is. Elon alleges that Altman said some unflattering things about Musk, and then went on Twitter and called himself a mecha Hitler.
That's true. He did that. Oh, good. I get this one. Speaking of which, Kanye is back on Twitter, reminding us all about the time he was betrayed by, checks notes, Harriet Tubman. Sure.
Okay.
He did write that.
I haven't seen any of that. I'm glad.
Oh, he had a list of people who had betrayed him. While you read the next joke, I'll find it.
I don't want to see. Oh God! All right. Pete Hegseth faced tough questions on the Hill this week. So tough, it took him 3 bottles of Bombay Sapphire to get through it. Yep. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Among the questioners was Nancy Mace, who used her time to attack fellow Republican Corey Mills over domestic violence allegations, which of course caused Pete Hegseth to suddenly pay attention.
Tin Hood.
Yes.
Secretary Hegseth said the war in Iran was necessary and going well, and also said that his Pentagon makeup room is also necessary and going well.
That's true. Okay, you want to hear the list?
No. All right, give it to me.
So he tweets this out in all caps. This is the list. He writes, I am in pain that no one person can fix. The betrayal. And then he proceeds with this list. Kim Kardashian. Okay, I get it. I Show Speed. Diddy. Ty Dolla. Harriet Tubman. Okay. Northwest. Pusha. Freddie Gibson. Cuddy. Curious George? Like the monkey?
The yellow. What about the yellow man in the hat? The man in the yellow hat.
I don't know.
No.
Donald Trump, Pete Davidson, Patrick Starr, LeBron James, King Vaughn, Playboy Cardi, James Murray, and Adolf. Just Adolf. Which Adolf, Kanye?
I met Young Dolph, rest in power, he's gone, the rapper Young Dolph, and when I met him in an interaction, in a retail situation, and we were doing like a pickup, and there was the ID, and yeah, his mama named him Adolf. His mama named that man Adolf. It was kind of crazy.
Well,
so maybe you talk about dog, but probably not.
As I said, which Adolf, Kanye? Yeah.
All right. There's been some great asides during these headlines.
Good. This is going to work out exactly right. During questioning, Hegseth explained that the ceasefire was paused, that had paused the clock on when the administration would have to seek congressional approval, citing the well-established Chris Webber doctrine.
Go Blue.
I wrote that in for myself, and I landed right on it.
Perfect.
That's amazing.
Awesome. That is there. There it is. These.
You have this one too. This is great.
These son of a bitches, man. This is crazy, man. There should be sheer uproar about this.
There is. Don't worry.
There is. Coming. Yeah, I mean, but like, the Supreme Court ruled that voting is now restricted to only white folks in parts of the Deep South, and that minority voters had already become too, quote, uppity.
They did rule that. That's true. Let's see. Jerome Powell presided over what could be his last meeting as Fed chair, promising to bring way more crunchy jams next time as just a regular deadhead Fed governor. Deadhead Fed governor.
Oh, yes. Perfect. That's really good, actually.
It's really good. I was proud of myself.
Good. Very good. That's really good. Not on mine. Trump put his face on the new edition of the U.S. passport. So if you get stuck with one, you now no longer have to explain why you're seeking asylum when you arrive in another country. It just flashed. Please come.
Yes, right. And in sports, FIFA has a new rule that will give red cards to players who cover their mouths while verbally abusing other players, because otherwise nobody can win their Kalshi bets on which racial slur someone is going to hurl at Mbappe.
Or Vinicius.
Or that, well, it was at Vinny, right? That was what started the whole thing. It wasn't just racist. It was also homophobic.
Oh, yeah. They gave him the 1-2 to 2 piece.
They gave him, they throwing bananas on the field still totally fine. Not going to get you a red card.
I love when they ban the fans from the whole stadium, because that is something you need to do, to be like, no. You're not. No one's coming to see any game. If there's going to be a game, it's going to be an empty stadium.
Yeah, you guys have lost the privilege.
Everybody's lost the privilege.
It's very like teacher on a field trip, like collective punishment. Like, that's it. Everybody back on the bus. You all fucked up.
because I don't know what else you do. It's insane.
There was the time they threw. I think, was it Super Mario? It was somebody.
Yeah, exactly. It was Mario Balotelli. I'm pretty
picked up the banana and ate a little bit of it, and then proceeded to kick the corner.
Right. Like,
what else are you gonna do, man?
He got. I mean, Vinicius gets it really bad, but like Balotelli got it really bad in certain places. Like,
he got it really bad in a way that didn't make any sense, because at the same time he was also like the leader of the Italian team,
right?
Like, he was the captain of the team, and they all loved him, and he was called Super Mario, and he was all of these things, and then they were like, oh yeah, but he's black, so we're gonna call him a monkey. Like, what?
It doesn't. It was in mind. I mean, that's how strong racism is. That's how stretch. It's insane that it's that strong. It's like, it's bigger than it was. Like, and granted, a lot of it did end up coming from like opposing fans, but still, nonetheless, it's like,
but they were doing it also within like Italians, explain yourselves using only your hands if you can.
Tell us, Mike Tirico.
Yeah, well, I mean, you want to explain this? You're on both sides of that conversation.
I am on the. I can't explain the whiteness of it though. Like, I can't explain that part. It's very difficult to do that because I don't understand it. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on.
Italians claiming whiteness is an incredible situation too.
It is.
Yeah,
it's really crazy.
What a world we live in.
Olive skin guineas to whiteness is crazy. That's Skyhorse publishing title. The Skyhorse publishing title right there.
Oh my God! All right, Brian, we need to take a break.
Yes. Actually, I since we've been away, I've been doing some good business transactions. So we got ourselves a sponsor for the for our headlines.
Oh,
wow. So our show is sponsored by this little product, so enjoy the little jingle that they have. Okay.
All right, well, let's take a break and thank our sponsors. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
It sweeps.
Be very afraid.
Before you hit that door, baby, you better check that curl. Cleavon told me so. Alarm clock ringing, sunlight on my face. Can't step outside with the curl out of place. Mirror say, player, better tighten that loop. A dry ass curl, brother, that ain't the move. I need that drip. Need that shine to behave. Need my curl looking slick as Rick James. From the roots to the tips, let it flow like truth. Ain't nothing popping till I grab the juice. Oh, African berries, juice is so pure, curl so full, yeah, it's blessed for sure. Prince Hakeem dreams in every strand, but without them chemicals messing up my hands. Get the juice, get it, to keep your curl loose. Strip so clean, shine so smooth. One splash hit and you know the truth. Get the juice, to keep your curl loose. From the crown to the roots, ain't no curl curling without the juice. Keep your curl juice. Yeah. juice. No harsh chemicals, no itchy scalp, no greasy couch stains. Don't mess up my headrest, man. Just shine, luster, and drip, and drip, and drip. Oh, get the juice, get it, to keep it all loose. Let it sway, let it shine. That curl pattern working overtime. Get the juice, to keep it all loose. If your mirror smile back, yeah, you already know the truth. The juice, keep it for the juice. The juice, keep it close. Stay ready. Stay ready. Keep it close. Stay ready. Loose curls and drip only, baby.
All right.
The caravan of mostly Central American immigrants is now in the Mexican city of Oaxaca.
Welcome back to Chip Chat, everybody. I'm your host. With me is Ted.
And that was the headache headline news brought to you by the juice.
Oh my god, I love the couch stain line. That's like my favorite line in there.
They'll have the wash with that at the end was just that's a good cherry on top of that. I was not expecting that, and
yeah,
it brought me so much joy. I'm sorry, it brought me so much joy just to see that. I loved watching that.
Do you think the Jerry curl will ever come back? Or is that one of those 80s mistakes that we're just going to leave behind?
I just think, especially the way you look at how kind of social media can revive things, I wouldn't put it past anybody to try to bring it back. It just, it feels like a lot of maintenance. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a high maintenance item. Yeah, I've never had one, so I'm not I don't know. That's why I like my hat. No maintenance.
Yeah, like I just go one way or another. Like I went from having very just long locks and just to be retwisted and then to go to bald. And it's like I'm going to one extremes. Like we're not doing any fucking maintenance.
Yeah, it's too much effort. Yeah. I'm not doing that. All right. Speaking of effort, let's talk about the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Now, before we get into all the things that happened, let's just explain what this is in case there's some people who don't know that, there's a group of reporters who are referred to as the White House Correspondents Association. There is a real association, and these are people who cover the White House. They're credentialed and they cover the president and stuff. Over the years, they've developed this tradition of having this dinner where they do a bunch of journalist award stuff, where they talk about First Amendment and free speech and journalism and why it's important and all of these kinds of things. And then eventually it sort of evolved into having the president show up and be there for it. And then that evolved into this thing where they would have a comedian come and sort of MC the event. And their job, which is a hard job, is to roast everybody in this room, but do it in a way that comes off as respectful and from a place of love, while also being extremely mean. And then the president gets to tell jokes afterwards. And this goes at varying degrees of well.
Yeah, over the years, varying degrees of well is a great way to describe it.
Yeah, and so there have been some hosts who have done a really good job. Roy Wood comes to mind. He did pretty well. Then there's hosts who do too good a job, like Michelle Wolf comes to mind. She did too good a job. And then there are presidents who are good at this, and there are presidents who are bad at this.
I think Larry Wilmore is one for me.
Larry Wilmore did a really good job.
He was the one for that.
Then there's the Seth Meyers one, obviously, that caused the world to end.
And yes, that's the one that destroys all.
He did also too good a job.
Yeah.
Colin Jost did a really good job one time. And then, like I said, there are presidents who, when they get up there to do their bit, they do it better. Now, none of them write their stuff, right?
No.
They have actual comedians write all their jokes for them. But like, it's all about timing and how well they do with that. Biden was not good at this at all. No. He just kind of stumbled through it like he did so many things. Obama was great at it because he has good timing and good comedic timing. W was great at this.
Yes, again, yeah, because he can kind of sit up there real folksy and like his was like,
he's a chummy guy. I mean, you know, for a war criminal, he's a kind of a fun hang.
Yeah,
you know, and so like W got up there and he'd have a great time and you know, kind of snickering and pointing at people and he's in on the joke, right? He gets it, you know.
Yeah,
and he's like, you know, I said a lot of things, you know, and. It's all just kind of fine, right? And then when Trump got elected the first time, like everybody was like, "Oh shit!" One of the first thoughts I had is like, "Oh my god, what's going to happen?" Correspondence Center.
Yeah,
the answer is nothing because he wouldn't show. He didn't go for the whole first term. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. They tried doing it kind of like on their own for
it doesn't work.
The president for a couple of years. That's where the Michelle Wolf incident came. And it just kind of was no good. So they stopped doing it. I guess they still did the awards, but they didn't do like that part of it, which is the part anybody watches.
Yeah. And then
hour of television ever.
Right. And then COVID slashes what the two like going into it, right?
It kills 2020 and I think 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so we've been off cycle for a little bit or whatever, but they brought it back this year and they're going to have like, you know, again, they were a little worried about like having a comedian doing anything too serious or funny. Too funny, I think, is really the thing that like they're worried about with Trump because he is so thin-skinned, he can't take it. And I don't mean that as a joke about his hands bleeding. I mean that like he's metaphorically thin-skinned and also physically, apparently. And so it happens at that age. So they didn't have a comedian. They had a guy. He's his name is Oz Perlman. He's a mentalist, which is a kind of like magician, really, you know. And he does tricks where he gets people to, you know, write down their PIN number, and then he opens an envelope and he also has it written down, and it's all a big trick, right? And everybody's kind of in on it, and it's fine. And so like many Americans, I was kind of interested to see what this was, and I was ready to tune into it, right? And so I was flipping back and forth between playoff hockey and playoff basketball and White House Correspondents' Dinner because that's what my life is like. And I had it on CNN, and I flipped back over to see what's going on at Nerd Prom, and it's across the top, shots fired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I was like, oh shit, I picked a bad time to check in on the Pens and Flyers game.
I had that live on C-SPAN. And as this was happening, like it was one of the more random things, like where I randomly kind of had it on there, like again, but left it there. And then as I was like doing shit and looked up, I was like, wait, shot. Okay. Is this what's happening right now? Why does everybody's faces look pale? And like not just because it's a lot of white folks, but like everybody's faces look pale. Like it was like when January 6th happened, like watching the proceedings of that and then like dozing off and waiting. I'm like, oh, that person looks definitely scared. What has happened? What did I miss?
Yeah, so it's a scary moment for everybody involved. I've seen a lot of the reporters. This is kind of a weird meta bit of this, but like they're all reporters, right? So a lot of them like sprung into reporter mode and immediately started literally covering the story.
Yeah.
And gathering information, going live, broadcasting what they know. Wolf Blitzer like explained about salad in the men's room to everybody at CNN, and local reporter Jenny Abamu of WAMU, she basically got on her Instagram pretty much right after and just like told everybody what had happened, which was one of the key ways that I learned a lot about it. But Anyway, just to set up the rest of this before we get into like what all everybody feels about it, this doesn't take place at the White House. It takes place at the Washington Hilton, which is not really that close to the White House, to be perfectly honest, in terms of like things in DC. But it's where
16th Street.
Yeah, but it's where this has been held for years. And they have like a security protocol for it, including safe rooms where they can seclude people to if they have to, and it's it's not just like some random ass
it's
Radisson on the side of the highway.
It's an event that happens there regularly every year for many years at this point.
Since at least Reagan. And so it's all like everybody knows how this works, right?
Reagan is interesting in this too, based on the hotel, but
they call it the Hinckley Hilton for a reason. He got shot right outside of there.
Yep, exactly.
Or shot at, I should say. He didn't get shot. Brady got shot, but he got shot at. And, Jodie Foster was not impressed. But the rest of us also unimpressed. So that's what happened. This caused a lot of reaction, which I think is still happening right now.
Yes.
The first thing is how many people immediately jumped to the idea that this was fake or staged, including myself. I
thought it was odd again.
Does anybody on this show think that this legitimately happened the way the narrative is currently explained?
The reason I have to start with this is just a real event, and it's not like I have to start there, because if I start where everyone else is at, I'm just becoming a commenter, and I'm on this show, so I guess that is what I am, right? In a sense, I'm a commenter on it and especially when we're talking about something that is the White House Correspondents' Dinner that is based around journalism, right? In the fourth estate, that the first, like the core tenets of this, and all of this is thrown up in the air. But for those people who are in that room, the core tenet of this is to fact check, to do research, to get sources. And that is when but no, we speculate here, right? Our show is reckless speculation. So, okay, fine. But if I go down that route, we are in a post-truth society at that point, right? And I don't want to be there because I feel it too, right? I mean, right? When this president's poll numbers are where they're at, or like I'm with y'all, okay? Like, you could persuade me to be in the camp of this. But the reason why I just can't start there is because then I am now in a fully post-truth society. And I think that is a problem. And you can say what you want to say about Joe Biden, right? And about the Democratic administration. But I don't think you had a majority of the country thinking when Joe Biden spoke around things or things happened that they were lies. You might have had the 25% of MAGA who does believe that. But I don't think the country would wake up and be like, and even the reaction of the country to not, like, if this happened 25 years ago, this is crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah, and you kind of hit on one of the most important parts of this, which is that even in the first Trump administration, when things would come out of like the FBI or the Secret Service, not necessarily administration officials, but the insert alphabet soup here. You take that to be the thing that's true, but the thing that the cabinet secretaries or the things that the Trump appointees say is probably a lie because they do it so frequently. We're now talking about a place where the institutions have been hollowed out. And so a lot of us, I'm going to say us, meaning myself included, don't trust the source of information that is the official source. And I don't mean that in a way where people are like, oh yeah, well, aliens of course exist and they're hiding it from us or whatever. And no fake moon landing or any of that like dumb conspiracy bullshit. I mean to say that Kash Patel, a man who is himself full of lies and speculation and rampant bullshit, is in charge of the FBI, has fired a lot of the people who work there, and they have conducted themselves in a way that now makes them an uncredible agency. And that's true of the entire DOJ, and it's true of the entire apparatus of the Trump government.
And governments were lying way before this. So like,
yes,
and that's the other thing. Like I'm not, there's not a naivete to the point where I don't think that the governments or all types of governments don't tell the truth to the public. I'm not arguing that. We've seen,
but they don't lie about, like, I don't trust the data from the National Weather Service anymore, because these guys lie about the pettiest, simplest shit.
I mean, you shouldn't trust that because they fired half the people and they can't.
That's what I mean. Like, they have hollowed out the agencies so much. I mean, a good example, tomorrow's first Friday, right? Tomorrow's May 1st, but it's also a Friday. It's the first Friday in May. It's a first Friday. We're going to get BLS numbers, I think, or maybe it's the week after, because if it's the first day of the week or whatever. But like, we know that BLS numbers are a thing, that they got mad at the numbers and fired the people who worked there in retaliation for data that they just found to be inconvenient. So now it is a stretch to believe what we hear out of the BLS. If you'd asked me, did I distrust the numbers out of the BLS in the first Trump administration? No, I trusted them fine, because I believe that the federal workers who were gathering that data were producing the data in the normal manner and everything was fine. I don't think that anymore. I don't trust the information I get from the DOD. I don't trust the information that I get from like the FDA, because so much of this is now re-engineered. And that might be the point, right? They hate the institutions. And so what better way? Yeah, that is the point, right?
The government's been bad, so let's make it extremely bad.
Make it so bad that nobody trusts it. And then it doesn't have to be right or wrong. It just has to be, hey, look, I don't believe it. You don't believe it. We both disbelieve it for different reasons.
Make you not trust it, right?
That's right.
And that is where it is, because you have always believed in it. I still try to believe, because again, I think when these things start to fall, right? Because everybody likes to talk about the house of cards and all, like, and I'm like, yeah, it is a house of cards, but why we want it to fall? Like,
I don't want it to fall, but I look, we have two problems.
System. It's a belief system.
It is a belief system, and they have hijacked it. They have figured out how to unbelieve it, and then there's also the AI factor here. Is that the deep fakes are so convincing now that even if I know the real story, even if I was there, even if the evidence is pretty linear and like very clearly they got the guy, he wrote a manifesto, he's got like a social media presence that seems to kind of like be congruent with the type of person who might do this, you know, and he kind of like, and even if he admits to it, I heard people discussing what shirt he was wearing as if, and it was all fake. He wasn't wearing no shirt. I mean, you know, like the situation is even if you and I and maybe, you know, 10, 15% of the population know the truth and believe it and run with it, the rest of this country now has a ready-made supply of AI slop that agrees with their preconceived notions and is just going to feed them a very convincing video evidence, big air quotes on video evidence, that says something else. And you're going to be like, no, that isn't true. They're going to be like, but I saw a video that says it is.
I think, but even that's one piece of it. I think what I'm more worried about is people on the opposite end of the spectrum saying, I don't trust anything.
That's what they're getting at. That,
I don't like, because at one point it's like, oh, well, you're saying almost in a sense like misinformation, disinformation, AI, deepfakes are going to make people believe in that. I'm talking about where if I get to the point where I'm like, and I do, there's a heavy skepticism in the sense of, all right, I need to find like 3 or 4 sources on this. How many people are saying this? Like but I don't, even on the things where you think you could just blanket trust anymore. You know, it's like, all right, trust but verify like 3 times.
I have to do that on literally everything I hear now.
Yeah, we're there, and that's a post-truth society, And yeah, I think when you have someone who kind of exhibits behaviors of a dictator, authoritarian, like, right, like this is where it starts. Like this
is where it insulates itself. If you look at failed states where dictators can run things, one of the ways that they can do it is sort of general apathy of the population. And the way they achieve that is they just make it so that nobody trusts anything and everybody's self-interested because they just think that the institutions are bullshit.
But let's do this. Let's just do like a hypothetical, right? Let's just pick I'll pick a random. This will probably piss people off, right? But let's just say Gavin Newsom becomes the president, right? He's
sure.
The president, right? If Gavin Newsom goes out and says something, do we think that 60 to 65% of the country is going to be like, he is lying? Or like we don't believe in,
or that he didn't say it,
or he didn't. Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think this is a uniquely Trump thing.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that, but I don't know that we can recover from it. I hope I hope so. Yes, I take your point there. That, like, you know, in the first run up of the first Trump things, when I was like, this guy's lying about everything he says is a lie, and they go, oh well, all politicians lie, and I go, no. And I remember we did it on the show, we talked about it on the shows before you even got here, but we talked about it on the show that, like, okay, there's a difference between, I'm telling you that
variants of this, man.
Yeah, this plan will pay for itself because of this, tax and this thing and whatever, and like it doesn't pan out. That's not like saying they're eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio.
That's crazy.
There's a very big difference. And Trump is so willing to say all of those things and like publish them. You know, the Jesus photo or the no more.
Let's pick a Republican. Let's actually try. Is there a Republican that we can say that wins the 2028 election, right? And that if they went out there and said something, I'm trying to think into my mind because there's not many left. I'm just trying to. I'm like, again, we're just doing hypotheticals, right? Susan Collins.
Yeah, but there's no way. I'm trying to think. Like, do you think that everything Mike Johnson says is bullshit?
I look at him as a voice of Donald Trump. Yeah.
I think that most of what Mike Johnson says he thinks is probably true. I don't think he's willing to lie. What he does is he's non-committal. He doesn't ever say very much of anything. Right. But I don't think Mike Johnson would stand up there and say they're eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio. I don't.
Yeah, I'm with you with that.
Yeah. So like,
who's in that? I'm trying to think through Republicans.
There aren't. Dude. There aren't.
Yeah, that's where we're at now, right? Exactly. Like
he's so co-opted that whole party that they are now.
John
none
Thune.
of them could. I mean,
John Thune.
Yeah, if Thune says something, I think he probably is telling the truth. I don't think Thune's a liar.
Yeah, I don't think he's, and that's why I think this is very. Now, here's one. Like, if JD Vance is the president, I do think he's lying.
I think he lies about anything that helps him. But like, I don't think Mike Rounds lies about stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that like Braun is a liar or that, like, some.
Now, will they take his playbook? Now, that's the question that we need to see.
Well, because they can't win otherwise. But like, would you believe anything Ron DeSantis says? No, probably not. Yeah, he's kind of right on that edge.
He's on the edge because then again, he's a smart guy. Like he's a very smart guy.
He just wears go-go boots on TV.
Yeah, right, exactly. Which he's allowed to. It's fine. But I think that's my thing. I do find this to just be a uniquely Trump thing, and I do wonder when we do like again. And you probably say there's not going to be another election, but the way everybody's like, eventually in 2028 when there's a new president, and whoever that president is, even if it was JD Vance, right? Which is